Hi, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my monthly media wrap up. So that's all the media that I consumed in the month of January. I'm only going to be reviewing them. I'm not going to be rating any of these things because I'm not an author, I'm not a director, so I don't feel like it's fair for me to rate other people's artwork, but I will just be reviewing them just for this video. So yeah, we're going to start with movies, go to television, and then finally end off with books. And let's go ahead and get started. So first I want to talk about Rap Shit Season 2. It's on HBO. This is Issa Rae's production, and it tells a story of two women who are from Miami and they go viral and they become rap stars. So very much like City Girls, but these are two new actresses that I haven't seen before, which is really nice. And I did watch season 1. I really liked the story a lot. However, I feel like season 2 kind of fell off a little bit. I can't say exactly what happened because I don't want to give any spoilers, but I feel like some things that happened in season 2 were just for like attention, like an attention grab. I didn't really feel like it was integral to this, like to the story or like intentional in that way. I just felt like it was there for a shock value. Now, I probably won't watch season 3, unfortunately, just because I feel like season 2 really just kind of went downhill. But I hope that season 3 does really well for Issa. Next, I'm going to talk about Blue Eye Samurai. This is on Netflix. This is our classic revenge story. It tells a story of a woman who is half Japanese, half white, and she's very skilled with the sword, and she goes on a rampage to find out who murdered her mother. Now, there is a little bit of a love story in there as well. There's a lot of violence, which I'm not really used to because I don't watch anime ever. This is my first dip into it, honestly, but I really enjoyed it. I liked the storyline a lot. I was very intrigued. I wanted to keep watching. It's definitely like a binge-worthy show, I would say. I will watch more anime, I feel. I feel like it's definitely very creative art, and I just can't imagine how to draw all that and to put it together, so that alone is a masterpiece. If you guys have any anime you want to suggest to me as a newbie, you can leave that below. But yeah, there's going to be season 2, and I'm very much looking forward to that. The season 1 cliffhanger, it was intense. It was very intense, and that's all I'm going to say about that, but I do think it's definitely a good watch. Another Netflix show is The Brother's Son. Now this is starring Michelle Yeoh, and she has 2 sons, and they are sort of like a crime family, and the younger brother is just figuring all this out. And the younger brother's acting, I would say, was a favorite part of the entire series. He was very relatable and very intriguing. Like whenever he was on screen, I could not take my eyes off of him, and I really liked the chemistry between him and Michelle Yeoh's character as well. Michelle's character, I really enjoyed a lot, and I will definitely be watching if there's another season, but I think it's actually just a one-off if I'm thinking correctly, but it's definitely worth a watch. I really liked seeing all the different parts of Asia. They went to Taiwan, they went to Hong Kong, but most of it takes place in LA, so you go to a bunch of different places, and I think the production value is very, very high. The coordination between the fight scenes, I think, were really good as well. It's all very just well-rounded show. It's very unsuspecting for me. I just clicked it just to see what it was like, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So if you guys want to check that out, I suggest you do that. And last for our TV is Fargo, season 5. I have not seen the other seasons, but after seeing this season, I actually might go back and watch them because it was very, very captivating. It's another revenge story. There's a theme here if you couldn't tell. But there's a normal housewife living in Fargo, North Dakota, and her past catches up with her. Again, I'm sorry I can't say more than that, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody. This is also a very highly violent show, just so you're aware, but this is the Coen brothers, so you know, this is kind of like their thing. I really loved the dynamic between the family, between the mom, the daughter, and the father. When all 3 of them were on screen, they were also very dynamic, and all the side characters, they all just felt very necessary. Like I feel like the plot could not have moved without every single character that was in the show, which is really refreshing because I feel like a lot of times when I watch TV, there's a lot of side characters who just are not necessary at all. But this all felt very, very creative and very detailed. I feel like they could have ended it a lot sooner than they did. I feel like it kind of dragged on a little bit toward the end. I know that, you know, writers like to do the cute little bow and like wrap everything up, but I just feel like it just dragged like the last 2 episodes. So, or the last like half of the last episode dragged a lot. And my sister actually fell asleep. So just like if that gives you any sort of inkling, but I would definitely watch it again. And like I said, I'll go back and watch the other seasons as well. And on to the movies. This one's on Hulu. This is called Susie Searches. And it's about a young woman who's very into like whodunit, but she's also very outcast. She doesn't have a lot of friends, and she's kind of unlikable. That's like what I took from the character development. But I really liked this movie because there's a lot of twists and turns, and there were twists and turns that I had never seen before, which kept me on my toes. Is also very surprising. And I really like shows and movies that have minimal characters. So there's maybe like 3 or 4 main characters in here, and it also felt very insular in that way because you're only focusing on those people, which gave it a chance to develop the personalities a little bit more, maybe get to know them a little bit more and become more invested in them. Especially Susie, like she's an interesting character. And the people that she meets along the way as she's trying to figure out this kidnapping, it just all comes to a head and it comes to a really big blow up, and it's all very satisfying. And on to the books. I read Song of Achilles. I know a lot of people have read this book. I had not read it before. I hadn't read anything by this author at all. And I did know it was a love story going in, but I didn't know how much of it was a love story, but I really loved that. It felt like very all-consuming, all-encompassing. It was very multi-layered. She showed a lot of their conversations and how their relationship grew over time, and it just felt like a warm hug. And that paired with how great of a writer she is. Like, she is very, very detailed in the way that she described the world that these characters were living in. And I felt like I was actually being transported back in time to the Greek and Roman times. But yeah, it's a very good read. And a lot of people have probably read it by now, but it's climbing up to be one of my favorites for sure. And finally, we have The War of Art. Now, this is a very, very short book. It's actually, the pages aren't even full. They're like half pages throughout, so it's a very quick read. And the overall arching theme that I got from this book is the idea of resistance and how that can go against your artistic journey. The ego wants to keep you safe, right? It wants to keep you in a place that you know things. If you try to go outside of the norm and outside where you're used to, that can be kind of scary, right? Just not for your body, but for your ego as well. And so resistance does a really good job of trying to keep you in a place that you will stay stuck. And it talks about fear and how fear will always be there. It's always going to be a constant no matter what endeavor you are undertaking. But also that fear is really nice because it lets you know that you are going after something brave and that your dream is really big and scary. He talks about how the more afraid you are of the goal you're going for, the more it's going to change you on a soul level and impact you in your life. And it was really life-changing actually reading that book. And like I said, it's really short, so you can get a lot in a very, very small amount of time. And yeah, that is it. That's all the media that I consumed in the month of January. I will be doing this again next month if you guys are curious. And thank you for watching if you're here till the end. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.